Sadwe Juma Kamfu Osora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Reto Jumse Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi Sadwe Juma Kamfu Sura Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Reto Jumse Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi Ahotilfo Reto Jumse Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi. The last one. Sadwe Juma Kamfu Sora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotilfo Reto Jumse Shiranka Udi Shiranka Udi. So
Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I rise to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice what circumstances led to the arbitral award of 15 million United States dollars against the nation in the case of Heritage Imperial Limited versus Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Attorney General with suit number CI 34/2019.
Yeah, respectfully.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I proceed to answer the question. Mr. Speaker, there is no arbitral award of $50 million against the Republic of Ghana, standing in the name of Heritage Imperial. Mr. Speaker, indeed, there has never been any arbitral award, and there could not have been any arbitral award, because there has never been the commencement of arbitration proceedings against the government of Ghana in respect of this subject matter. The Speaker, if the person concerns and affects judgment debt or a judgment delivered by the courts of Ghana, the Speaker, I'm happy to say that there is also no judgment debt of $50 million against the government of Ghana in the name of Heritage Imperial Company Limited. The Speaker, it is very important to state that indeed there was a commencement of a suit by the company, Heritage Imperial Company Limited, in 2017. Mr. Speaker, if I may briefly state the facts that occasioned the commencement of the action. Because sometime in 2017, the government of Ghana, in order to tackle the menace of illegal mining, set up an interministerial committee on illegal mining. To enforce its mandate, the committee was assisted by a task force made up of members of security forces and the Environmental Protection Agency. On 6 December 2018, the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining invaded Heritage Imperial Company Limited's mining concession and seized its equipment, machinery, and monies on suspicion of being engaged in illegal mining. The Speaker, the company commenced an action in the High Court, Kumasi. After a trial, the High Court, Kumasi, on 30th July 2020, gave judgment as follows. Mr. Speaker, I quote respectfully. The judge said, I entered judgment for the plaintiff as follows. A declaration that the invasion of the plaintiff's mining site and the seizure of its excavators and equipment is unlawful. B, recovery of the sum of $50,304,714, being the value of machinery and equipment seized from the plaintiff's site by the Interministerial Task Force on Illegal Mining. General damages of 500,000 Ghana cedis and cost of 100,000 Ghana cedis. The Speaker, the matter at that time was handled by the Office of Attorney General in the Ashanti region until judgment was delivered in July 2020. In my former capacity as Deputy Attorney General then, I was neither aware of the pendency of the suit nor responsible for the conduct of same. However, on assuming office as Attorney General and Minister for Justice, I got to know about the entry of judgment against the state in or about early July 2021. The Speaker, I inquired about the existence of the judgment, factors accounting for its entry, and I set out to undertake processes towards upsetting or overturning the judgment against the state. Indeed, I formed a view that in spite of the lapse of over 1 year since judgment had been entered, the inherent jurisdiction of the High Court itself could be invoked to consider the gross fundamental issues affecting the jurisdiction of the court, which I had observed. And on 13 July 2021, I invoked the inherent jurisdiction of the High Court, Kumasi, for an order setting aside the judgment which had been entered in July 2020. The Speaker, I'm again happy to state that on 30 July 2021, the High Court, Kumasi, upheld the application filed by my good self and set aside the judgment entered by the court over 1 year ago. There is thus no judgment debt against the government of Ghana, as contained in the question of the Honourable Member. The Speaker, I understand that an appeal has been filed by the company, but the effect still remains that there is no judgment debt against the state. At the time the question was filed, Mr. Speaker, there was indeed no judgment debt against the state. The Speaker, please submit.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I thank the learned Attorney General for his response. The Attorney General tells this House, first paragraph, page 30 of our order paper, which contains his response, that he did not know about this matter and that it came to his attention only after a radio program sometime in July 2021. I want to find out from the Attorney General how this is possible, considering that he was part of the team, served as Deputy Attorney General, and also must have received handing over notes from his immediate boss way before July 2021. Is he saying that, first of all, there was lack of coordination and that his handing over notes were incomplete, and that is why he did not know? Because this raises serious issues. What other matters may be going on that he does not know as Attorney General? I am deeply worried about these revelations.
As any other Deputy Minister under Article 17 of the Constitution, is to assist the Minister for whom you are deputizing. Mr. Speaker, you handle duties when assigned to you by your Minister. The Speaker, it therefore cannot be strange that a Deputy Minister may not be aware of any matter occurring in the ministry, especially as him is definitely not in the charge of the Deputy Minister in question. The Speaker, that is the explanation for why I was not aware. I've indicated that it was not part of the matters that I was personally responsible for. Be that as it may, it came to my attention right upon assuming duties as Attorney General, pursuant to radio discussion. And I believe that my name friend ought to, with all respect, even commend me a little for following up on the matter that I heard about on radio and taking steps to have the judgment set aside. The most important fact, as far as I'm concerned, with all respect, is that I succeeded in setting aside the judgment, and to date, the government of Ghana has received the sum of $15.3 million. Thank you very much.
From page 31, the first paragraph, the Honorable Attorney General tells this House that he observed that there were many challenges with this case, and that the plaintiff's claim of $15.3 million was intended to deceive the court. It will appear that whoever handled this case in his office appears to have played along. Is the Honorable Attorney General telling this House that the legal officers who were in charge before he took over this matter did not serve the state diligently? And what has he done since discovering all of these problematic matters that he has raised? Has he initiated any inquiry, for example? Has he queried the officers who were in charge of this case?
Indeed, I have undertaken an inquiry to ascertain the circumstances that resulted in the approval of the judgment that the process is actually being led by the Solicitor General herself, and the report will be duly delivered. The Speaker, but it is pertinent to also place on record that the mere fact that a lawyer seized with the conduct of a matter early on had failed to observe certain infractions or procedural irregularities connected with the matter does not in and of itself suggest negligence on the part of the lawyer. It is definitely not strange that one lawyer may be seized with the conduct of the matter concludes, and another lawyer is assigned for the pursuit of an appeal, and the second lawyer will succeed in upsetting the judgment earlier delivered. So I do not want to believe that the mere fact that the judgment was set aside by my good self suggests lack of diligence or negligence on the part of the attorney who earlier on conducted the matter. Thank you very much.
Sanwe Juma Kamfu Osora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotel Fo Reto Jom Se Shiraka Udi Shiranka Udi Sanwe Juma Kamfu Sura Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotel Fo Reto Jom Se Shiranka Udi Ahotel Fo Reto Jom Se Shiranka Udi The last one. Sadwe Juma Kamfu Sora Bofo Sorry Wo Ahotel Fo Reto Jom Se Shiranka Shiranka Udi. So welcome to the show. Sorry, viewers, we have a technical difficulty in trying to fix our touch screen to work better, so we need some 2 or 3 minutes to do that. Tonight, we have so much. Did you listen to Joy News this morning? So this vexed issue about the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, they are called, in short, SNIT. Now, they have had a series of giving up some of their investment. Tonight, we are hearing that Imani, and Franklin Kujo sometimes watches our program, so if he's watching, he may correct if we are wrong. We are hearing that Imani has issued a line in support of SNIT disposing of assets that are unprofitable. When I first heard the story, I was excited because I've been looking at where I live in Teshi. I drive almost every day in front of La Palm Royal Beach, and it breaks my heart when I look at La Palm because I knew La Palm when it started 25 years ago, and how it was plush, and how it was a beautiful 5-star hotel belonging to SSNIT. Many years ago, I went to the Busua Beach. I went to watch football in Takoradi. It was the Black Stars World Cup qualifier ahead of the 2010 World Cup, the last World Cup qualifier that the Black Stars played, Stephen Appiah's team, because the team also stayed there that night. We had a blast, a beautiful time that day. And then in 2008, during the African Cup of Nations, I had gone to Takoradi to watch the Nigerian game. The Super Eagles had played I can't remember, Angola or something like that, and they had just merely scraped through to make it to the semi-finals, actually quarterfinals, where they played the Black Stars at the Accra Sports Stadium, and they stayed in that hotel. Since then, these hotels have gone down. They're almost going dilapidated. So when I heard the story that eventually SSNIT had taken a decision to make these hotels work, I was excited. At that time, I didn't know who it was for and all of that. But every day you drive past them, you wonder, why is this getting rotten? Why is it rotting away? Those who travel to other countries come and tell us that they go to these countries and they see nice hotels at the beach. We had La Palm at the beach. Last December, I attended City FM's program at the La Palm Royal Beach. I was there. And they were all talking about it, that it's a beautiful thing. Something must be done about this. So when I heard it, I was excited. Then the hula baloo started. Sammy Okudzeto Ablakwa, my friend from Presec, decides to take issue with the matter on the basis that it had been given to a minister of state. Okay, so this morning, Brian Achampong and Okudzeto Ablakwa squared it off on Joy News, and we're going to take you into the details of what happened there, and then we'll come and deliver our editorial about these things. These things. When we're growing up, those of you who are not in your late 40s and early 50s, you will know. But when we're growing up, there was a program on GBC television entitled Watch These Things. And I don't know, I mean, anybody who's watching me who remembers the GBC program, Watch These Things, please send us a text so people will know that I'm not just saying something from my head, that it is true. The program was entitled Watch These Things. The producer of the program was Cyril Akolache. I remember very well. And it was always exciting to see. What GBC used to do is that they would hide the camera, far away, and they'll be filming people who were practicing unsanitary behavior or something like that, deviant behavior one way or the other, and then they'll capture it, edit it, and put it on television in 15 minutes. They call it Watch These Things. So if your face appears in Watch These Things, it means that you are doing something unsanitary, you are doing something antisocial, or you are projecting yourself in deviant behavior. So when I heard the program this morning, I was very excited that Brian was bold enough to appear on Joy FM and say, ask me the questions. Now we're going to show you what he said, and then we will deal with our editorial on Watch These Things. What are we watching? We are watching the penchant of our own people. Anytime something is going to a Ghanaian, we are angry about it. That spirit must be broken. That spirit, it has to be broken. That anytime something is going to a Ghanaian, something significant is going to a Ghanaian, which belongs to the state, which is going to a Ghanaian, for which he's paying, we are angry. Every time we have to pull a Ghanaian down. I can assure you, viewers, that if this Brian Achampong Hotel matter, the name on the document was Cole Carlton Edwards, Okudzeto Ablakwa wouldn't have raised an issue about it. He would not even have been interested in it. If the name was Cole Carlton Edwards, and they say born in 1971, born in Scotland, and blah, 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 is a businessman, they wouldn't have been upset about it. Because it is somebody we know, we are angry. We have been doing this forever. The only exception are two people. The only exception to this rule are two people. And tonight I'll pay glowing tribute to them. General Kutu Achampong, the former president, head of state of Ghana. He wasn't president because he didn't win an election. So he was head of state. General Kutu Achampong and Prime Minister Kofi Abrefa-Busia, the two of them decided that whatever it is, the commanding heights of Ghana's economy must be in the hands of Ghanaians themselves. That's the only way for us to progress. We are going to show you that video tape. Tell Terry to get me the tape when Busia is talking about the economy of Ghana must be in the hands of Ghanaians themselves. Busia made that statement 69 years ago. When we started mounting a defense for Zoomlion in 2018 and 2017, this was our mantra. And why does a member of parliament think that because the matter is going to another member of parliament who is a businessman, it is wrong. It has to go to Cole Carlton Palmer Edwards, and then we are okay. Why are we like that? Nigeria is not like that, and that's why they are moving ahead of us. Nigeria has their own people leading the commanding heights of the economy. Mike Adenuga, Dangote, all of them have benefited from political relationships. But then they are putting the name of Nigeria high and employing people and bringing their money into the domestic market. What is wrong with us? Why are we like that? Why do we always have to kill our people? J.J. Rawlings, that's what I talked about, and he went to say that I've been talking Kwasi Asem, blah, blah, blah. He came and he killed Ghanaian businesses because he thought that they would be powerful enough to overthrow his regime. Regime security is what he was practicing. May he rest in peace. But those seeds that he sowed are what has germinated in Ablakwa, even though, of course, Rawlings doesn't like Ablakwa because he says the baby with sharp teeth. It is the seeds that Rawlings sowed that has germinated in Ablakwa today and is angry with something going to a Ghanaian. I don't care whether it goes to Eddie Annan, who is a member of the NDC, or it goes to Sambru Butler, who is a member of the NDC. Look at our power situation. Sambru Butler is managing Sen Power. When the MPP came to government, they didn't say that Sambru Butler should stop it. What is the point? Why can't we support Ghanaian? Yes, if the person has done something wrong, he's done something wrong. If you listen to the radio this morning, what you are going to show, Brian Achampong demonstrated to Ablakwa that he has not even understood the role of a member of parliament, having business, etc., etc. The most important matter here, though, is that this hotel business that Brian Achampong has, I think the fundamental question that we should all ask to determine whether there is a proper assessment of the situation, to determine whether Brian Achampong is not getting undue advantage, is to determine when did he start. Let's assume that if somebody becomes a minister, he has advantage. Yes, indeed. Once you become a minister of state in any country, you do have an advantage. You get to know things before others get to know. You have ears to the national security. You get to know what the state-owned agencies are doing. We all don't get to know that. A minister may get to know that before we all get to know. Fair enough. Brian Achampong began the hotel business before he became a minister. Before 2016, he had mounted Rock City Hotel. He was a member of opposition. He wasn't a minister. And he mounted Rock City Hotel, which for some people's money, they think is the biggest hotel in West Africa. At that time, he was in his 40s. 40-year-old man mounts the Rock City Hotel. When the NDC were in government, Minister for Finance, Seth Terkper, and President John Dramani Mahama found it useful to award Brian Achampong's company a contract with payroll. Go and check. Ablakwa should go and ask. Why did Seth Terkper and John Mahama, knowing that Brian Achampong was NPP, they went for bidding and decided that this is the best bid. And Brian Achampong was in charge of payroll something at the Ministry of Finance, a contract which subsisted during the NPP time, but began with the NDC time, with the signature of Seth Terkper, the finance minister, to the same Brian Achampong. Why did they make that decision? And I applaud President Mahama for that decision. When President Mahama was making that decision, he was aware that Brian Achampong was NPP. President Mahama was aware that in 1.5 years they are going for elections with Brian Achampong's party. He was very aware. But they looked at the situation, they looked at the bid, and they said Brian Achampong's company should have it. Upon that, Brian Achampong mounted this hotel situation. 40-year-old man, he builds a hotel like that. And then he becomes minister for, what did he become? The Minister of State National Security. And then he goes and comes back as Minister for Food and Agriculture. And then Senate opened a bid. We are divesting ourselves of these hotels. That is the part that Imani is supporting. I have to clarify. Imani is supporting Senate divesting itself of the hotels. Of course, you know that Imani is a right-wing think tank. So their philosophy is that states should not own businesses. That's always been Imani's philosophy. And I respect them for that. Me too, I'm right-wing reporter. But I think that the states must have a role. So we can differ on that. We are both right-wing. Imani thinks that states should not own anything. Everything should be done by private. States should just be a regulator behind. Fair enough. So Imani is excited about Senate doing that, okay. And Senate open bid, transparent. It wasn't hidden in anything. Transparent. The main reason why Ablakwa is filing this ashraj is not because of the process. It is because of the name of Brian Achampong, that he is black, he is dark-skinned, he's from Kwewu, he's a Ghanaian, and he's MPP. Is that how we want to build our country? Forget about 2016 elections. Viewers, let me ask you directly. Is that how we want to build our country? That as soon as it's a Ghanaian, we are against it. As soon as it's Zoomlion, we are against it. As soon as it's NS Chemist, we are against it. As soon as it's Tobacco, we are against it. If it's Cole Carlton Palmer Edwards, that one we are happy. Where is this coming from? Is it not evil? Is it not even demonic? Anyway, my producer is saying that we got to... is it working? Almost. We're almost there. So, viewers, let me take a break. And then I can see the electrician is there. You cannot see him, but I can see him. He is at the touch screen trying to sort it. It's ready. Okay, super. All right. So I don't need to take a break? Yes. They say I can come straight. I don't need a break. What's the time now? Oh, we are way into time. What's it saying? 17 minutes to the top of there at 10 o'clock. So this is the story. This is our main story. This is our main story tonight. And I was delighted with Joy FM's approach to the story this morning. What did Joy FM do? They said, Brian Acheampong is on the line. Ablakwa is on the line. Okay, knock heads together. Let's see. And it was beautiful. At the end of the day, everyone who listened knew that Brian Acheampong had made his point. I mean, it is not easy for businessmen. Zoom Lion doesn't do that. Zoom Lion doesn't go on radio and say, ask me questions. Businessmen don't like that. They don't want to do that. But I was delighted that Brian Acheampong did it this morning. He went on the radio face to face with them. He said, okay, ask me the question. That propensity for transparency demonstrates that the guy is genuine. And SSNIT have nothing to hide. They have said over and over again that the documents are available. You don't even need RTI to apply. SSNIT says the documents are available. The tender process are available. The problem is that the one who won the tender is a Ghanaian. He's a black man. He's from Kwewu, and so we don't like it. Why do we do this to ourselves? Anyway, let me take the break. And should I or should I not take the break? My people are okay. This has to just go to the touch screen. Okay, viewers, let's mount the touch screen. Now, that's not our first story, though. Our first story is this one. Martin Amido Kisi Agyabin. Charlie, can you get me tissue paper? Yeah, it's okay. He's bringing the tissue paper to me. Sorry, viewers. Sorry. I need to do this. Sorry about that. Cleaning the makeup anyhow on my face. All right. Now, good evening again, viewers. Welcome to the show. Brian Acheampong Okoyeto Ablakwa story. It's our second story. It's coming. It's our second story. This is our first story, though. Honorable Martin Benz Kaiser Amidu is refusing to give us the petition. Martin Amidu is a proper lawyer. He has filed a petition to the president. The petition has been transferred to the Chief Justice. We are asking the Secretariat, can you please have Martin give us the petition? Then they come back to me and say, boss, Martin says it's not professional to do that. I said, tell him that the thing has been on Joy FM. They were reading it on Friday. He says, well, he doesn't know where Joy FM got it from. They didn't get it from him. But it's unprofessional for him to release the petition that way. He has given the petition to the presidency. It's gone to the Chief Justice. He will appear before a committee if it's set up. If there's a prima facie case and therefore a committee set up, he will appear and talk about it. Until then, he doesn't want to give us the petition. What he will give us, though, is a letter that he wrote today, which he circulated to all media, and that's what we're going to go through. But meanwhile, the story, if you don't know, is that Martin Amidu has issued a petition for the removal of his how did they say, the one who comes after the predecessor? I've forgotten. Successor. A successor. Thank you very much. My boys, they can speak English. Everybody says successor in the studio. Okay, so his successor at the office of the special prosecutor, and he feels that Kisi Agyabin's behavior is below par, and therefore he should go. We're going to, for the next 5 minutes, just read through the notes that Martin Amidu has sent. This is not the petition that he sent, but he's written a letter that is very poignant, that we think that you should see. Okay. He says, Kisi Agyabin, stop the propaganda of being holy and confess to the suspected crimes under you as the special prosecutor before the law catches up with you, by Martin Amidu Benz Kaiser. We have been telling Kisi Agyabin these things, that the law will catch up with you one day. You may be a proponent of the law, you may be an officer of the law, but the law can catch up with you. The law can catch up with you. And that's what Martin Amidu is warning as well, that the law can catch up with Kisi Agyabin. He should be very careful, because this is a very fully blown democracy at this stage. After 30 years of doing this is a fully blown democracy at this stage, isn't it? Okay, let's move on. It is time to demand that Kisi Agyabin should stop the propaganda of saving the public purse millions of Ghana cedis through payroll audits with the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department, and rather confess to Ghanaians with contrition for his suspected commission of several specified corruption and corruption-related offences under Section 79 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 5959, since his assumption of office as Special Prosecutor before the law catches up with him. It goes on. It is nauseating to read a report from Kisi Ajabin today, dated 20th May 2024, deceiving Ghanaians that he is saving this nation millions of Ghana cedis of the public purse from payroll audits in the northern region, when Kisi Ajabin and the Auditor General have been committing the same suspected offenses of abuse of payroll system in the Office of the Special Prosecutor since Kisi Ajabin's assumption of duty as the Special Prosecutor at the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, those of you may not know, earlier today, I believe that a report came out, I saw it on Joy News, that the Special Prosecutor, the OSP, Kisi Ajabin, is checking some payroll issues. You know that in Ghana, we've had this payroll issue of ghost names. That's how we commonly call it. Ghost names appear on the payroll. So by the time that the Accountant General dispatches the salaries of public workers at the end of the month, about a quarter of it is going to people's pockets. A quarter of it is going to pay names that actually do not exist. So that's what they call ghost names. Now, Kisi Ajabin, the report said that Kisi Ajabin and the OSP have been working on this payroll system, especially in the northern region. Martin Amidu is alleging in this treaty or article, if you like, that in fact it is Kisi Ajabin himself who is taking money of ghost names. And let's see how he justifies it. Let's move on. It says, anytime Kisi Ajabin suspects that suspected criminal activity of the OSP may come to public notice and attention, he resorts to using his supporting rented press and media to throw dust into the eyes of Ghanaians of his indispensability to the fight against corruption in Ghana. And I can concur with this one because viewers, and this is where sometimes I fault the young journalist, Kisi Ajabin once came to tell us that he has found a place where they are printing currency. He was hoodwinking everybody. He was lying. He was under our pressure. At that time, we were mounting severe pressure on him. And then he comes and says that he has discovered some people who are cutting currency. He was lying. Joy FM published it almost as breaking news. Till today, we have not heard anything about that matter. And every journalist is looking at him. I mean, Kisi Ajabin can be your friend. As a journalist, you must have friends. That's okay. But you don't have to have friends to make it look like you don't understand your professional work. I have friends that I'm happy to work with all the time, but I don't have to work with them in a way that suggests that I do not understand my professional work. That is a denigration on my part as a professional. And I don't know why journalists are not doing that these days. Yes, Kisi Ajabin is your friend, but remind him that, boss, Charlie, that's the story you brought. Nothing has happened, though. You must come and see something about it so that we can manage it. That's what should be happening. Kisi Ajabin came on public radio and told the whole world when he was under severe pressure from us over Cecilia Dapa issue that he has gone to find somebody who is printing dollar currency in Ghana. He was just hoodwinking. He didn't know anything about what he was saying. He was just talking from the blue out of his head. And that's what Martin Amidu has captured in this paragraph here. He says, anytime, and I concur with that, anytime Kisi Ajabin suspects that suspected criminal activity of the OSP may come to the public notice and attention, he, Kisi Ajabin, resorts to using his supporting rented press and media to throw dust into the eyes of Ghanaians of his indispensability to the fight against corruption. Let's move on. Next paragraph, he says, whether anybody shares the same moral or cultural values with me, I cannot allow the continued deception of Ghanaians by suspected criminals who ought to be under investigation by the Economic and Organized Crimes (EOCO) for causing financial loss to the state in the process of commission of specified corruption and corruption-related offenses under Section 79 of Act 959. The law, Martin Amidu says, law enforcement cannot be a selective enterprise, as Kisi Ajabin and his particular media houses want to impose on Ghanaians in violation of the right to defend the 1992 Constitution. I have, he says, in my possession, letters written and signed by Kisi Ajabin without reference numbers violating Article 195 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 21 of Act 959. Kisi Ajabin, the chief accountant of the OSP, who is an employee of the CAGD, and the CAGD are paying unconstitutionally employed staff of the OSP vast amounts of salaries and allowances each month from the public purse without any authority under the 1992 Constitution. I don't know whether Kisi Ajabin is doing that, but if Kisi Ajabin is doing what Martin Amidu alleges, right there, that's a ground. Right there is a ground for something significant to happen. These are the grounds. And I cannot understand how a young man gets a big opportunity like that. He has the capacity. He has the training. He should have the wherewithal. He must have the mental state and the temerity to deliver this job. Why that is so difficult for him? Why there are two paths to achieve something. One is a complicated, crooked path. One is a righteous path that you can do, fulfill all righteousness. He doesn't want to do the righteous path. He wants to go through the crooked path. Where is he learning this from? And why is he doing this to affect all young people who have such great potential to change the destiny of this country? That is very sad. And how some media cannot see through this is most bewildering. It's completely bewildering. This guy there hoodwinking every media. I mean, in the days of when Kweku Sechado and co were on Joy FM, could Kisi Ajabin have done this? When we were training, when Ben Efson was writing, when Tommy Thompson was writing, when Kofi Kumsin was writing, could Kisi Ajabin have done this? Why are we making it look like the journalism standards have gone so low that any public official, any empty public official can just hoodwink people and just pay some money and then he gets away with it? Why is that happening to Ghana? I mean, I just don't understand it. You can dislike or like somebody. That's okay. That's allowed. You just don't have to be violent. I can dislike or like somebody. That's allowed. Somebody can dislike me. That's allowed as well. But you cannot have a professional deficit. That is not allowed. In a job that you are representing such that you are part of the nation building process, you cannot have a job that denigrates your professional caliber. By just these simple things you can't see, a man comes. I mean, those days we used to have a program on Radio Gold. Myself and those people at Radio Gold will remember. I don't know whether Blackwell was born at the time or where he was, but it was there. They should ask James Sajini Boating. He's one of them. He was at Radio Gold. I think at some point he was even the producer of the program. Myself and Von Brazi, the deputy chief of staff. And it was produced executively by Bafo Boni. It was called the Friday Morning Rejoinder. It was on Radio Gold where I worked. Friday Morning Rejoinder. What was the Friday Morning Rejoinder about? Bafo Boni felt that the media were propagating stories that were untrue. So what we did from Monday to Friday was that we take the Chronicle, take the Times, the Free Press, every newspaper, any story you had done, we will call back and do the backstory. So when we come on Friday Morning Rejoinder, we say, okay, Chronicle published this on Tuesday. We have checked. It was true. We have checked. It was not true. And that was a very popular program. May Bafo Boni rest in peace. It was Bafo Boni who set up that program, the Friday Morning Rejoinder. This is in 1998 or something like that. As far back as then, we were doing this verification thing that they do today. They call it something, I've forgotten, fact-checking. They call it fact-checking. We were doing that on the Friday Morning Rejoinder. I don't know whether Radio Gold will still have the tapes. But if the tapes are there, you will hear my voice on it. My name was the same. I have been teasing Vomao Oliver that he changes his name every night. I mean, my name has been the same from class 1 up to today. It's Paul Adomochi. Nothing has changed. Date of birth, same. Nothing has changed. I don't do that. I'm Paul Adomochi. Then when I get to university, then my name is Kwabena Mensah. Then when I go and do masters, then my name is Oliver something. No. I don't do that. So if you check, you see it. I have a recording from TV3 where I was reading news. People send it to me. And they said, that was my name. It's Paul Adomochi. From class 1 up to today, same thing. Nothing has changed. Every pre-sec, Paul Adomochi. Said nothing has changed. Oliver, he's changing his name after. Anyway, forget about that. So, that's what we were doing on the Friday Morning Rejoinder. And that is as far back as 24 years ago. Today, Kisi Ajabin is hoodwinking people without they coming to ask him that story that you had, that you were chasing some people who were creating or cutting out fake dollars in Ghana. Where is the story? He doesn't have it. And the media were railroaded into it. Nobody checked. It's now been almost 1 year since Kisi Ajabin said he has some people who were doing currency fraud. 1 year, zero. Media in Ghana, prolific media. 1 year, Kisi Ajabin story, zero. Anyway, let's move on. Sometimes you want to have faith in Joy FM. But sometimes you wonder. You really, really, really wonder. All of us who had passed through Joy FM have a soft spot for Joy FM. And that's why we complain. And you know that, you see when Manchester United is not doing well, the Manchester United All-Stars are complaining. Wayne Rooney is complaining. Even Robin Van Persie, who was a Latter-day Saint, is complaining. What's his name? The captain, the former captain who is fighting with everybody. No, not Neville. Roy Keane, thank you. Roy Keane. Yeah, we have sports. My sports guy is ready. Roy Keane is complaining about Manchester United. So when we complain about Joy FM, it's not because we are angry with them. It's because we have paid some dues there and we expect that those seeds will germinate into something significant. Not this kind of, they don't verify. Kisi Ajabin told you people that he has caught somebody who is cutting dollars. That is a significant crime. And if it's dollars, it's a crime that the so-called FBI that he brought should be interested in. Today, where is that story? Zero. And that's what Matsamidu is saying, that anytime he sees that he's under pressure, then he throws in something like that. Anyway, let's move on. The OSP and Kisi Ajabin, whose heads it ought to be, the OSP and Kisi Ajabin, who heads it, ought to be confessing to Ghanaians that Kisi Ajabin wrote and signed letters without any constitutional authority, appointing and paying staff without stating their conditions of service in the appointment letters. Kisi Ajabin then signed another set of 2 letters in his personal capacity as special prosecutor months later with conditions of service bearing the same dates, confirming those appointments with 2 separate ranks assigned to the same staff. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Anyway, the implication, as Kisi Ajabin knows, is that the staff petitioned against the rank initially assigned, and Kisi Ajabin in suspected criminality wrote the second letter and backdated it to enable the abuse of the OSP payroll by the CAGD and himself. This is the tip of the iceberg. When you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones. That's a very heavy letter. Kisi Ajabin should be careful. Otherwise, he's heading for disaster. He should be careful. Otherwise, he's heading for disaster. And when he heads for disaster, it will affect all of us. Young people, tomorrow I want to be a Minister of Agriculture. They say, oh, Paul, I don't know how old is he. This one small boys, you go and bring them and make them minister. You remember Kisi Ajabin. We don't want that. We want them to say that, oh, when the young man became Attorney General, he was great. So let's put more young people there. That's what we want to say. We don't want this kind of situation where it looks like young people, or as they call us, small boys, we can't do the work. Because we can do the work. We really can. And there are people who are showing that they can do the work. Even if you go back, look at the ministers like Totobi Kwachi and Co. When they became minister, how old was Totobi Kwachi when he became a minister? He was in his 30s. He had a distinguished career for 25 years as Minister of Information and National Security Minister. Look at Ato Austin. May he rest in peace. When he became minister, how old was Ato Austin? He was a young man. Even look at my friend Kwame Nahoy. When he became a minister in 1981, how old was he? And all of these people have given us something to look forward to, something that means that young is not inexperienced, but young can be brilliant. Kisi Ajabin is eroding all those gains by behaving like this. His wish-washy behavior as a special prosecutor is terrible. Anyway, let's move on. Kisi Ajabin, Matanamidu ask, why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but you do not notice the log in your own eyes? And Matanamidu is quoting Matthew 7:3-5 in the RSV Catholic Edition for Africa. Hey, what Bible is that? Catholic Edition for Africa. Matanamidu is there. Okay, let's move on. Kisi Ajabin ought also to remember Hamlet's statement to Lattes when Hamlet said, quote, Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cats will mew and every dog will have his day. Hey, you remember Matanamidu when he went to Vetting and he was talking about the man in the arena? And I think he likes these philosophical quotes, which I love too. That's interesting. He's giving Kisi Ajabin's word to the wise. As they say, it's enough. It's enough. No earthly pretense of attending the same church with the head of one of the arms of government and sharing the same pastor can override God's edicts and truth to save Kisi Ajabin and the OSP in escaping from confronting their suspected crimes. Hey, what is this? What church, what pastor? What's he saying? Please, let's listen to it again. He says, no earthly pretense of attending the same church with the head of one of the arms of government and sharing the same pastor. What is that? Please. Okay, let's break it down. He said arms of government, so we can isolate it. There are 3 arms of government. Presidency. Akufo-Addo doesn't attend the same church with Kisi Ajabin. I know that for sure. Akufo-Addo goes to rich church. I'm sure Kisi Ajabin doesn't go there. Speaker Bagbin is a Catholic. Is it the CJ? I don't know what church the CJ goes to as well, but this may be the chief. No, let's get it again. It says, no earthly pretense of attending the same church with the head of one of the arms of government, one of them. So you take out presidency, take out speaker, you are left with the Lord Chief Justice. One of the arms of government and sharing the same. Who is the pastor? Hey, Osofo, bring your name. Osofo, bring your name. Sharing the same pastor can override God's edict of the truth to save Kissi Agyabeng and the OSP in escaping from confronting. Please, those of you who are watching who may have the facts, maybe you're also in the same church, just send us a text and say that I'm in the same church. This is the church of, we suspect the Lord Chief Justice because we have isolated. You know, when those of you did common entrance in quantitative, you have something and you isolate them. Or when you're in secondary school, they say choose the similar ones out, those kinds of things. So he says arms of government. There are 3 arms of government. So we quickly isolate the president out, speaker out. What is left is the Chief Justice. It's left because we actually don't know what church she attends. We know that Gbagbo is a Catholic, Kissi Agyabeng is not a Catholic. We know that President is Richard, Agyabeng is not Richard. We don't know the church of the Lord Chief Justice, nor do we know the church of Kissi Agyabeng. So we can safely assume that this reference is to the Lord Chief Justice and Kissi Agyabeng. They share the same pastor. Osofo, bring your name and come and give us some blessing. There's an Osofo in the midst. Osofo, who is Osofo for the Lord Chief Justice and Osofo. Please bring out your name, Osofo. And then let us get on with it. All right, so that's the end of Martin Amidu's epistle. Now we are fired up to do the rest of the stories. The other day, Sami Jefi was talking about Sunyani Airport. He said there's the I've heard what he says, and we have a small rebuttal for him. Whilst we were on the show on Thursday, he sent me text. And it's the same text that he's published to people. Dear Paul, I don't much sometimes. He sent it to me, and I replied to him. If he wants me to share the reply, people have told me that text that you put on TV should stop. So I've stopped. I don't want to do that anymore. But I can read it on my phone. And then if you don't believe it, I can give it to one of the Pune studios to look at it. But he was sending me text and we had an exchange. I think when he published the letter, he didn't add the things I said, which is okay. No problem about that. But we always have a platform by the grace of God to expose some of these things. So we'll be coming to that tonight as well. Also, Alhassan Bello has been looking critically at the coup d'etat in Congo, and we'll be coming to that as well. And then we have a little bit of sports to tease you before we get into the real issues of Brian Achampong and Ablakwa. Is our main story. We are coming to that. So this is Martin Amidu's epistle. He still wouldn't give us the petition, so we still don't have it. Or even if we have it, we can't use it because we cannot disclose our sources. And once we use it, it means somebody gave it to us. But we want to obtain it officially from Martin Amidu. He says it's not time to do that. So we are unable to publish it. Even if we may know it, even if we have it, we can't publish it at this time because we sent a request to Martin Amidu to give us the thing. He says that professionally he cannot, certainly not at this stage. We told him and his secretariat that Joy FM abused it. They didn't get it from me. It's fine. If you want to take what they have, you can take what they have. We asked him that, is what Joy FM using correct? He says he hasn't listened to it. So he's a very professional guy. This is what the secretariat gave us, and this is what he shared with general public. And he says that this is only the tip of the iceberg. So I'm sure the details is inside the document. So we're going to deal with it. We're going to be dealing with it. Wow. Okay, so break time. After that, sports. And then we zoom into the fiery stuff for tonight's Good Evening Ghana. It's always a pleasure to come your way. Respectfully, we take a break. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to know that you are here with us. Please, you like my new flask? It's nice. It has maple leaf and all that. Let's do the text message before we go on to the touch screen. Now we are ready with the Snit Hotel TUC story because all our computers are now agog with action. Let me start with you, Antoinette. What are people saying?
Very much, Paul. We have people talking about the Church of the Chief Justice in the persons of Emilia Zah and Samuel Kelly. They said that the Lord Chief Justice attends ICJC. Now, Augustine Osare Donko says it looks as if Mr. Martin Amidu enjoys working from the bench rather than being on the field himself. He always criticizes beautifully, but when given the job, he cannot do it properly. You are petitioning the man you called Mother Serpents of Corruption to fight corruption, and this is definitely double standard. Now, Abdul Ganiu Ameidu says the Kusi man has disappointed we the young ones. He is part of the reasons young people are no longer being given opportunities to serve in high offices. Only God can save us. Now, Alex Nyako says that the MDC members love their political party more than Ghana. How can Honorable Ablakwa be that vicious to the extent? Is Honorable Brian Ichampon not a Ghanaian as well? Gastiman says, Paul, I don't see any credibility of this Martin Amidi's allegations. I like everything, but I seem to be very disappointed about how the OSP is being accused. There is too much allegations and obvious hatred being discharged. Don Kwesi Pedro says they didn't go through the procurement process. How can Mahama lose election and sign our bauxite to his brother, knowing very well he is leaving the office? And lastly, Matthias Wameno says Okudzeto Ablakwa is just a spoiler to everything that benefits the nation. He did that to the National Cathedral and killed it. He was the same guy who backed a company to get undeserved payment of the judgment debt, a dubious political actor who swims in the puddle of life. Sarah.
So this is what people are saying on Watch These Things. From Charles, he says, I have experienced and enjoyed it. We conducted ourselves very well, so we were not caught by those hidden cameras. Also coming from Kofi Mensa, he says, I saw a program Watch These Things back in the days. And coming from Solomon Na, he says, yes, there was indeed such a program. Also coming from Charles, he says, Martin Amidu said President Akufo-Addo is the mother serpent of corruption. How about that? Coming from Samuel Kelly, he says, the Lord Chief Justice, I am reliably informed, is an ICGC member. She said this in her vetting in Parliament. Okay, coming from Manny, he says, Paul, your program is so enjoying that I sleep late on Tuesday and Thursday. Well done. Thank you for watching, Manny. What do you have for us, Fatih?
All right, so this is coming from Kweko Poko, and he says, Paul, from my own understanding of this matter from Martin, speculation and misinformation and misinterpretation will go a long ways to affect and damage national institutions or agencies. 1. How many of Martin's grounds by the OSP's Act can take him out of office? 2. Martin had all the opportunity to help develop the OSP office, but due to his emotions, he wouldn't do anything to support his own country. 3. Personal issues are not part of the OSP objectives, missions, and visions. I can only side with Martin on the matter of procurement process. Even that one, he must prove to us because he alleged it. And then, Paul, we are building and developing a nation and not building individual emotion sentiments. Martin Amidu has done this nation a very bad thing and deserves. He should be the last person to accuse or criticize the officer in a reckless manner. He, Martin, should not insult or even call his employer names. Let's take our time and wait for the needed institutions to work on. Now, coming from Pakofi, he says, Kisia Japan is the most unserious public official in Ghana. Also coming from Tanko Nadal, it says, Paul, anyone who has not worked anywhere or owned a business before and all of a sudden becomes an MP will behave the way Ablakwa is behaving. The 21st century illiterate is not the one who didn't go to school. It's those who don't learn, unlearn, and relearn. Lastly, coming from Nana Ikuama Boatin says, Dr. Baumia is breaking the 8. Good evening, Paul. Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa should give us a break. Golden Tulip Hotel was sold to a foreign company and it's now Lancaster Hotel. And Okudzeto is happy. But for Brian Ichampon to buy from SNET is a crime. Interesting. To you, Angelo.
Henry watching us from Bulga says, watch these things on GTV of yesterday. Henry, I think you're a bit old then, if you'd remember this. Anyway, Jordan Kota from Esicado Keted says, Paul, we are a country of old witches imprisoned for 2,000 years and need angelic salvation. Every productive business going to politician is seen as illegal if a politician can't make genuine business, as if a politician cannot make genuine business. God save this country from the evil mind. This is also quite harsh. Anita Adai Inti says, Ablakwa is a pathological liar, full of himself. He would rather a Chinese person buys Ghanaian property than a Ghanaian person. Hey, Paul, back to you.
It wasn't not Martin Amidu who was chasing a black one over Isofoton. What's that case? Maybe tomorrow I should ask the Attorney General people that where is that matter? Martin Amidu was chasing a black one that they are taking some money over Isofoton in 2016. Was it not him? I'm not even interested in that. If a black one can build business and become a great Ghanaian, by all means, we support him. Now we went to Presec, that's how we're trained. But with this issue about every Ghanaian business must be collapsed, Rock City Hotel is there. They have built Rock City Hotel with their bare hands. They didn't build it with politics. Now they want to expand, and their state assets. Imani has just sent me a text, Franklin Kujo, confirming the idea that he is in support of what Senate is doing. I'm going to read it in full when we get there. It's quite long, but I'll read it in full. I've just texted him back that I'll read it. Because it's Ghanaian, it's by Nachampon, so we don't like it. We want Cole Carlton Palmer Edwards to buy Lancaster Hotel, Golden Tulip. That one is fine. We want some Sheikh Tawfiq Islamabad from Abu Dhabi. That one is okay. It's Brian Achampon. No. His skin is like our skin. He speaks tree. We don't like that. He will be bigger than us. Yes, but some have to be bigger. We have to create an aspirational society and reward those who can put their hands to work. Whether it's by politics or it's by themselves, we have to reward those who can put their hands to work. We have to lay the golden eggs. Please, I told you to find the Buzia thing. Please, they should find it. When I get that, I'll do it. Now, though, we are just going to take some 5 minutes of your time. And Andy, let's do 5 minutes. People have been blasting us that when I say 5 minutes, and those who don't like the thing we do because they support Arsenal, when I say 5 minutes, and they're angry that you said 5 minutes, you talk. If it's Manchester United who lost, you say it's 2 minutes and say, oh, United lost, and then that's it. If it's Arsenal who lost, you talk and talk. So let's go to the touch screen and let's make it 5 minutes because Arsenal didn't win the league, so they don't want us to say it plenty. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
What is it? What is Wall of Champions?
So these are the winners of the Premier League since its inception in 1992. So Man City now have won it 8 times, United 13, Chelsea 5, Liverpool 1, Leicester 1, and almighty Blackburn Rovers also won.
Oh, Liverpool have won 1 since the Premier League era.
Yep.
But for the historical,
18.
they've won 19.
Yeah, 18 plus
18
1.
plus 1, 19. United are 13 plus. Yeah. Hey, Dennis and Apriku, our screen is gone off. Oh.
Yes, it's back again.
It's back, all right.
Yes, so this is by managers. Ferguson 13, now Pep 6.
Oh, Ferguson won all the 13?
Yes.
Hey, he's not bad though.
13 in 20 years.
Oh,
so,
he's not
so
bad.
he's a real farmer.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
Yes, and then Pep with 6, Mourinho with 3.
Mourinho won only 3?
Yes.
The plenty Mourinho, it was just 3 titles.
He didn't spend as much
time.
Years. Yeah, as much
time.
I
see.
Wenger, 3 in 22 years.
Wenger's one is not good.
Yeah, 3 in 22 years.
22 years, he won 3 titles. But he created the Invisibles.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
He will be remembered. Carlo Ancelotti also had 1. Antonio Conte and Kenny Dalglish for
Liverpool?
No. Blackburn Rovers.
Oh, he was the Blackburn manager when they won?
Yeah.
Kenny Dalglish?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Jurgen Klopp, Roberto Mancini, he won City's first, Pellegrini City, and also Ranieri Leicester. Yes, and let's go to the players. Giggs 13.
Oh, Giggs was with Ferguson throughout.
Oh, yes.
What about Scholes? He wasn't there?
11.
Yeah. And Beckham?
Beckham is 6, Nicky Butt 6, Ferdinand 6, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 6, and now we come to the City players. De Bruyne, Ederson, Phil Foden, they are really getting close. 6.
Oh, then their record is not brutal. They are like that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Ryan Giggs. I'm so happy to see that. 13 times.
Yeah.
Giggsy.
Gary Neville, 8.
Oh, he's a player that we all love so much.
So let's look at the final standings. 91-89. Goal difference were the same. So imagine if
did the goal difference get to become the same
Yes.
at the end of the day?
Yes.
What happened? I wasn't following.
So
Arsenal were leading by 1 on the
they
final
won
day.
2-1, and then City also won by 3-1.
Oh, so City actually caught up with them. So assuming that
They had the same points.
They had the same point. Who wins?
There has to be a tiebreaker. They will play a game. If it was in Italy or in Spain, they will do tiebreakers. That's what happened during the season. When you guys faced the 2 times, what happened?
Oh, but Arsenal won that one.
Yes, but in England, it's not like that.
That's the
England-
head-to-head.
Yes.
Arsenal
England-
win head-to-head.
Yes. By England, it's goal difference. So if it was the same points, 91-91, they would have played a tiebreaker on a different day, which has never happened before.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Did you go back? Manchester United were all the way down.
Yes.
Oh, that's why they say it's the worst ever finish in the Premier League.
With a negative goal difference.
Woo! So Ten Hag will be sacked?
Looks like, because Pochettino is gone tonight.
I've seen it.
Yes,
I've just
yes.
seen
So
that, yeah.
He might. They are giving him the FA Cup final. He has to win.
But if he wins, does he get fired or he remains United coach?
The board, it looks like they have.
I think they've made their decision.
Yes.
But who is the coach they're thinking about? Tuchel?
Tuchel, yeah.
Is he better than Ten Hag? I think the thing with Ten Hag is human relations. It's not that he's not a good coach, and that's a very important part of the training at the top level.
As a manager,
you must have good human relations with the players.
Yes, and so that was Chelsea climbed way to
fantastic. Even though their coach is gone, so who are they thinking about? They may also be looking for Tuchel.
Yes, no. They want to go and take De Zerbi, the Brighton coach. And others, they want to take a younger coach.
No, but this Brighton coach didn't worry Chelsea before. Didn't they bring the Brighton guy?
And I don't know what's wrong.
And he flopped completely.
The American owners, I don't know what's wrong with him. I really don't know.
Oh, they like the Brighton coach?
Oh, yes. So let's go to Phil Foden. And Phil Foden, 19 goals.
I screamed at this goal on Sunday afternoon.
Just 78 seconds.
I was watching one of the children and I just screamed. And he came and said, what has happened? I said, Phil Foden scored.
Just 78 seconds.
I mean, that was an amazing goal. The way he opened up his body for the ball to play that was just very super. Really, really good goal.
So 19 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League. He won the Premier League Player of the Season.
I've seen that too. I'm very happy for him.
So this has been his trajectory. So he has improved every season. Now 27 goals.
How old is he now? 23?
Just 23. And has won 6 Premier Leagues.
Is he in the provisional list?
Oh, yes. We'll get there soon.
Okay.
Right. So he's the only man to have won a league title in Germany? Also Spain, and 3 times in a row. So he won 3.
Didn't Mourinho do something like that?
No.
Didn't Mourinho win with Real Madrid?
He won just one season. That was 2012. So Pep won in 2009, 2010, and 2011. And then Mourinho won in 2012 and he went on a sabbatical.
But didn't Mourinho win also with Porto in Portugal?
Yes.
Didn't he also win somewhere else?
Chelsea.
And Chelsea, yeah. So
he
won
also
in
Inter Milan.
Spain, and then in Italy.
Yeah. And in Portugal.
So it's better than this?
Yes, it's better, but he has done it 3 years in a row at 3 different clubs.
Oh, okay. 3. He won with Bayern 3 times?
Yeah.
Bayern won the Bundesliga 3 times with him?
He came to spoil the Dortmund monopoly. So Dortmund
won
I
remember.
3 years in a row, and then he just...
So is he the one who kicked Klopp out of Germany?
He finished Klopp.
Okay.
Yes,
I get it.
The Premier League Player of the Year. So Man City players
I'm so happy for Foden. Phil Foden, great star. I think he has to be grateful to Pep. Pep has done some good work.
He has really done well for his career. Very good player. And these are the City fans. They just ran onto the pitch after the final whistle.
I saw that.
It was bedlam. And yes, Kudus.
Of course.
He made your man very tensious.
Of course. What I like about this goal is the way Kudus collected the ball. Mm-hmm. The way he put the ball within his space. Yes. That was very clever.
Very beautiful.
Because, not many players will have that instinctive skill to bring the ball with the left into my space and then hit it.
Let's look at a different angle.
Yeah.
With all the skill and then, oh my God.
So where is Kudus here?
That's him.
Or this way he's controlling them. Or this way he's actually executing the Caesar kick.
The goalkeeper is standing and still plays it at the same place.
Yeah, he plays at the same place and it goes in.
So do you think he
has did he sort of subdue his celebration? I didn't understand it. They do that when you have played for the team before.
Yes.
Is he preparing to go to City?
Looks like he wants to move.
But if Pep Guardiola wants him, I think he should go.
You should go for him.
Yeah,
yes,
it will make Ghana great.
And yes, these are the award winners, and this is Watkins. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
The Playmaker Award.
What did he get?
The Playmaker Award for assists of the season.
Oh, he got the most? Yeah. How many?
13.
Cole Palmer got what?
10. Yeah.
Palmer didn't get any award for the season?
Oh, he got Young Player of the Year.
So Palmer got a Young Player of the Year, and Oli Watkins got the assist.
Yeah.
And David Raya gets the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
16.
Then he's justified Arteta's decision to drop Aaron Ramsdale.
And then your man, 27 goals. Back-to-back top scorer.
Erling Haaland.
And yes, let's talk about Arsenal.
Okay.
So 89 points. That's unbeaten against the top 6. Second most goals scored. Fewest goals conceded. Fewest XG conceded. Most clean sheets. Fewest shot on target. And still didn't get to win. It's very
That's
painful.
the point I was making. Arsenal are at their best. They've been at their best for 2 seasons. And at their best, they only become second best. If Manchester United is at our best, we win the title with 5 games to spare.
Even Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea's at their best. But I'm also thinking Arsenal have had this run because there's been political issues with Chelsea and Manchester United. Because Chelsea and Manchester United were playing at their best. I'm not sure whether Arsenal will be able to climb the way they are climbing. And that may be the reason why Arteta is not winning. Because it's not so much that his team is super, but the top teams are having political problems in their boardrooms. Yeah. And so, once the Russia-Ukraine war broke, Chelsea got affected. If that didn't happen and Chelsea were on song, there was no way.
There was no way. Yes, and this was Kai Havertz crying after the match. Very sad scene. So this was at Emirates. They had planned to in case they won the league, the plaque and everything was there. It was just left there.
People were attacking you on social media for saying that the police had. They said it's not true. But it was published.
It was published. So
this is interesting, Patrice
let's move
Evra.
to Patrice Evra. He says the reaction is evident. No emotion, no feelings, nothing. Things will be different if a bigger club won it. The football world doesn't rate rigged successes, and you can see it.
But that's controversial.
Very controversial.
It's kind of true, though.
I do understand.
I mean, globally, not many people associate with Manchester City. Globally,
Yes.
if Manchester United won it, Asia will go agog. If Liverpool won it, Asia will go agog. Africa will go. If Arsenal won it, Nigeria will go agog.
Kenya,
far away
Kenya.
from England.
Yeah.
Manchester City is not able to draw that.
So I was comparing it on Sunday. I was watching live streams on YouTube, and then Klopp's farewell generated around 1.3 million.
I heard
and
that.
then the title winning
the
was
trophy
around 800,
celebration.
800 something.
Yes, I heard that. I didn't. I heard that.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
sent
was
it to
watching
me.
it. I was
That
watching it.
look
I
at
was
the
comparing.
eyeballs that Klopp is getting
Yeah.
when he came third.
Yeah.
But that's because Liverpool is a really big club.
So
Wow.
let's move to the reason why he's saying that. Let's move to Blackburn Rovers. So Blackburn were a good English team. You understand? They had won the league 3 times before this great man came to buy the team in 1990, Jack Walker. So he bought in King Kenny. That was in 1991, and within 4 years they won the Premier League. Blackburn had won the FA Cup 5 times before he came, and before the Abu Dhabi people bought City, they had only won 2 league titles. So if he's saying that they are not a big team, Blackburn Rovers still get traction more than even Man City.
Wow.
Yes. And then, you remember these guys,
Yeah.
Chris Sutton and also Alan Shearer, when they won at
Well,
Anfield.
Alan went to play for them.
Yeah, Blackburn before he
in
moved
his
to
in his
Newcastle.
ending days.
No, at the start.
Oh, it was rather at the start
Yes.
before Newcastle.
Newcastle came in.
Oh,
with the
I
world
see.
record, yeah.
Ah.
So, yes, before we even move, the duos in the Premier League, Andy Cole and Dwight
York, yeah.
and also Henry and then Beckham. Among these
Dennis
three,
Beckham.
who do you think or who do you rate highly?
Ooh, in terms of skill, it will be Henry and Beckham. In terms of coordination and output, it will be Andy Cole and Dwight York. But in terms of real skill, I mean, no, but even if you look at them, both are strikers actually. But here, Beckham is not a striker.
Yeah, he's a number 10.
He's a number 10 of sorts here. But this is where Alex Ferguson played them as a 9 and 10, but they are both strikers. So he played them 2 top. And they had such a great partnership as well. But also, I think, you see, you cannot talk about these two like the way you can talk about these two. I explain. These two can begin a process and end it. These two cannot begin and end it. They would have needed Scholes, they would have needed Giggs, they would have needed Beckham. So you put this ahead of them. These two can start and finish their own. They can pick in the center circle, Dennis to Henry to Dennis, and they can go and score. These two cannot do that. They will need a Scholes, Beckham, a Giggs, or a Nicky Butt in those days to be able to make. So I give it to the Arsenal duo.
Okay. So let's move to the English squad. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the 33 man. They will cut it down to 26 on June 7th by.
But Marcus Rashford.
He wasn't picked. But funny enough, Jack Grealish was picked.
Oh, Jack Grealish is on top of his game.
But this season he has been on.
Oh, in the middle of the season when this guy wasn't there, when Kevin De Bruyne wasn't there, Jack Grealish was there. He was doing well.
So for United, we have Kobe Mainoo.
Fantastic.
Very, very, very good player. And
which goalkeepers did they pick? Has Ramsdale find his way in?
Yeah, Ramsdale.
Oh, they still pick Ramsdale?
Yes. And
Jordan Pickford is going to be leading. Dean Henderson, I don't know him. James Stratford is from
Burnley.
Burnley?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And the defenders, they have Joe Gomez.
Yeah, we don't know them. Okay. Is it Maguire?
Why is Maguire there and Marcus Rashford is not there? I mean, that's not fair. That's really not fair. If Maguire is there, Marcus Rashford is there. Yes. But I'm thinking that in their difficult games, they may have to start with the City guy, the player of the season, rather than Harry Kane. Rather than the captain. Harry Kane is going to have a run for his money because it's Oli Watkins in there.
Watkins is there. Yes.
Yeah, you have Oli Watkins in there.
And even Ivan Toney from Brentford.
Oh, Ivan Toney cannot really take out. But Oli Watkins and even Phil Foden can actually take out Harry Kane.
And Saka.
Hey, that's a big deal. That's a big... Saka will start. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
There's Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham will start. Saka will start. Kobe Mainoo will start. Up front, you cannot ignore Phil Foden. He has to be in. I don't know what that's going to mean for...
also has to start.
Declan Rice will start as well. Yeah. Declan Rice and Kobe Mainoo will both start in the middle. Who is the Jones that I see? The Curtis Jones? Who's it?
Liverpool.
Oh, yes, he's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But as I keep saying about the England coach, if he doesn't win this title with this players, you should sack him. Yeah. I can manage England with these players to win. I'm sure I can.
Very true. And then Ronaldo too has been called to his 6th Euros. That's a record. 6th
Fantastic.
Euros.
At age what, 40?
No, 39. He will get there soon.
Wow.
And then today we woke up to a shocking news that he has retired. He says he's done with football.
Kroos.
At the end of the season, he's done. He just woke up today and
said our grandfather is still playing.
Yes, he's still playing. So,
but he plays so well.
Yeah, Kroos says he has retired. And Ronaldo thanked him for everything he had done for his career. And also Rooney, his first son Kai, he's in the United Academy and he won the under-14 league trophy. You understand? So also,
he scored 35 goals.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I've
never seen him. Have you seen videos of him?
Oh yes, I've been.
Does he play like Rooney?
Oh yes, very very talented player.
Wow.
And today is exactly 16 years that we beat Chelsea.
The Champions League, 2008 was it?
Yeah.
Hey, 2008
Moscow.
to now is 16.
Yeah, Moscow.
So children born in 2008 are 16.
16 years now.
Hey, we are old though.
That was the favorite.
The penalty slip. Yeah, John
slip.
Terry. That day I had a big celebration.
Wow.
I can't forget that.
Yeah, that's nice. And
Wow.
Chelsea. Very very sad. Very very sad.
But do you think United might look his way?
Hopefully,
if they don't want.
Hopefully, he's a very very good coach.
Is he really? He doesn't win titles. I mean, he created Song, he created Dele Alli,
yes,
and he created Harry Kane.
Yes.
But
even
he doesn't win titles.
He
doesn't win titles. That's the thing.
That's the problem. That's the only.
Wow.
And then the Copa America, we know Argentina is.
Copa America is due.
Yes.
Oh, this time
on 21st June. So Euros is 14th. Copa America is 21st.
Oh, I see. Argentina and Brazil are both in.
Yes, so Argentina is in Group A with Peru, Chile, Canada.
Those games are always difficult.
And
Copa America is so difficult.
Brazil is in Group D with Colombia.
Brazil and Argentina always find Copa America more difficult than the World Cup.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
Wow.
The most winners is Uruguay with 16.
Did I see United States in Copa America?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
So South America is only 10 countries. Mm-hmm. And they invite 2 countries every tournament. You understand? So last tournament, they invited Qatar and the US. US is hosting it. So,
it's been played in America?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it's really nice. Yeah.
But they could invite Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana to play some.
One day,
But maybe we'll get there, yeah.
So, I don't know, before we end with it, that's live for you. This is Tony Cruz, 2007 and the 17 World Cup. Mm-hmm. And this is Ransford Osei, Ghana's Ransford Osei.
Oh, what happened to him?
Yes, very sad. And this was Nigeria's Chrysanthus Macaulay, golden boots player, the silver boots, and that was the bronze boots. And see how their lives have been changed. He played for Real Madrid at the highest level.
What happened to Ransford Osei? I've forgotten about him.
So he was at Kesben and he got a move to Israel. That was Tel Aviv.
Oh, Israel.
That was it.
And we didn't hear from him anymore.
No. And this guy also moved to Hamburg in
Germany. That's not bad.
And then we didn't hear from him again. Very sad. That's life for you. Very, very sad. And yes, Chelsea, their own things. So we have our own. Argentina have called their team for the Copa America. We have our own Lisandro Martinez, Manchester United, and also Alejandro Garnacho. Also,
in the Argentine team for the Copa America.
Yes, so yeah.
Okay, I think we've done 5 minutes. Happy to. Okay, let's take the text messages as we prepare for the rest of the stories. It's now 10:30. We'll be running. Say that again. Oh, we did 15. Oh, I'm sorry, viewers. I'm sorry. I said we did 15 minutes. All right. Let's do some small text messages. Call Apriku to come. Let's work on the stories and then we deal with it. Okay. So who should I start with on text messages? Okay, Fatih, what are people saying?
All right. Thank you, Paul. This is coming from Nana Owusu, and he says, Paul, don't forget Chelsea has been relegated 6 times in English Premier League, but Arsenal hasn't been relegated before. Coming from Felix Boama, he says, I think Kudus did not celebrate because the goal didn't mean anything. He wanted to win for Arsenal so Partey could win an EPL. Coming from Atta, he says, it's pathetic that NDC take delight in criticizing everything NPP do. We have to vote against these people. They don't have any good intentions for the country. And lastly, coming from Master Planner Gina, he says, we have only 2 teams in the English Premier League. That is Manchester United and the rest. Congratulations to Manchester United because Manchester is united. Whether Eric Ten wins or not, he must go. What do you have for us?
Okay, so coming from Master Planner.
Okay, so back to the Blackcourt story. Stephen Reku says Blackcourt during the NDC time asked Martin Amidu to pay a Sophotone judgment debt, but now preaching holier than thou. Paul, please look into those who bought some of the SNIT canteens in the various regions. Michael Yeboah says, where did Okudzeto get money from? How much money has he had as salary for the years he's been a legislator? What properties does he own in Ghana? All these people are not faithful to themselves. God will judge all of them. Baby with sharp teeth who never wish any good for Ghana. Watching us from London, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Felix Baumer Jr. says, I think Kudus did not celebrate because the goal didn't mean anything to him. He wanted a win for Arsenal so Partey could win an EPL. Anam Zuya says, good evening, Mr. Paul. Very good analysis. That is why I like your program. Now, from our sponsor, Lifton Elevators Ghana. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stand our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in and day out. Worry no more, because with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, you are sure of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It is a simple-to-use, self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility to choose from. You may call it luxury, but it is a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for yourself for vertical mobility at home or offices. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days with modification to your building. Visit Lifton Elevators Ghana at Sakumono for your solutions and free consultations. Call us now on 0200 535 515 0200 535 515 or email us at elevatorsgh@gmail.com.
James Energy Drink here, and Blue James Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients. Vitamins like B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6 and B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried, and it is indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women, so go on, grab a can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide, and for bulk purchases, contact 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000 or contact on Budget Cash and Carry Ltd. T1
Veronica Kosi says, she says, Paul, please leave sports for the sports presenters. Don't add their job to yours. Maybe she thinks you're doing too much already. Ishmael Parenyanse from Takrady says, good evening, Uncle Paul. Please, today is the birthday of the love of my life, and she's Veronica Odro. Okay, well, happy birthday to you. What's the name of the love of his life? Veronica Odro.
The love of his life is called. Is it his wife?
Yes, his love of his life. We don't.
Did he say it's his wife?
He did not.
Maybe they are preparing to get married, or
Hopefully.
maybe it is his second marriage. Maybe he wasn't lucky the first time, and now he's going to get lucky or something like that.
Only speculate.
Please, what's his name? The guy writes.
His name is Ishmael Parenyanse.
Ishmael, come back and tell us, so we can do a proper montage for the love of your life. You see, if it's your second marriage, you tell us. If it's your first marriage, you tell us. Then we can do it properly. All right, please go on.
Oh, that's it.
Well, that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you told Apreku that I've sent him something? So Franklin Kujo has sent me a long text. I've sent it to my producer to put it on a touch screen so we can all read it. So he's going to work on that. Now, though, let's get onto the touch screen and watch this. Okay. So social security, and really, we didn't prepare for this well. We should have brought the photographs of all those hotels, La Palm, Buzia Beach, and viewers would have seen the states in which they are. And people come and build hotels here. Kempiski, it's Ambassador Hotel. It belongs to the government of Ghana. Is it Kempiski? I said Moving Peak, the one they call Moving Peak in Accra, where the big people go and have lunch and things like that. You know, it was called Ambassador Hotel. When I was young, it had a very popular barbering salon. My father used to go there with me when I was about 5 or 6 or 7, class 2, that kind of time. And they will go to Ambassador Hotel, and the situation is almost the same. The way in which they design is almost the same as I can remember as a child. And there's a barbering shop there. You enter, you turn the back, that's where they barber their head. And so I had always known Ambassador Hotel. It had been closed down for a long time. So I was very happy as a boy going to Ambassador Hotel. It was always in my mind. And when I grew up, I saw that they are putting it as Movenpick. I was happy. And then they called it Movenpick Ambassador Hotel, trying to sort of get the heritage name. It went to some nice foreign guy who has done something great with it. But he would take the money and take it back to his hometown in Dubai or wherever he lives. You know, it's an Arab guy who was very nice to Ghana and came to take it. It was divested for him. Nobody said anything because he's an Arab guy. Nobody said anything. Golden Tulip was originally called Continental Hotel. It belonged to there was something called the Ghana Hotels, State Hotels Agency or something like that. Kwame Nkrumah created it. State Hotels Agency. Now, Ambassador Hotel, which is now the Movenpick, is historic because that is where Queen Elizabeth stayed when she came to Ghana. Way back in the Nkrumah time, that's where Queen Elizabeth and her staff stayed. It was also the hotel that was used to host the distinguished guest who arrived on 6th March 1957, 5th and 6th March, for Ghana's independence celebration. It was at the Ambassador Hotel that the American vice president, later to become President Richard Nixon, stayed. It was owned by the government. Eventually, it was divested to somebody. Today, we are all benefiting from it. All of those of you who are big people, you go there for lunch and stuff like that, isn't it? Yes, that's the Ambassador Hotel. Nice place. It's now the Movenpick Hotel, belonging to somebody. Then there is also Kempinski, which is sitting on land that belongs to the Accra Race Course. It was government owned. The land was government race. That's where Accra Race Course. That's it. Look at our National Theatre. I'm aiming to go to the National Theatre on the 2nd of June to go and watch my friend George Quay's production in honor of Dr. Martin Owusu. And I'm worried because the last time I went to the National Theatre to watch children's play, I wasn't very happy with the place. I was one of those who did a national service at National Theatre, working as an usher in 1993-94. I mean, yes, we were there at the National Theatre. And when we remember the glory of the National Theatre in 93-94, when we're doing national service, and you go there today, we're always on the phone talking to each other. Charlie, you go National Theatre. Oh, the place spoiled. Oh. Then we say that, where we used to sit and eat is gone. And it's a sad story. In your lifetime, from age 19 up to age 40-something, National Theatre collapses in a country that has gold and diamond. You can't understand it. Is it something wrong with state managed something? If tomorrow, Bolare says he wants National Theatre, Okujeto Blackwa will come and say, because Bolare is black, we shouldn't give that. They'll say, hey, Bolare wants National Theatre because he's a friend of Bagbin, and Bagbin did it for him. And then, if they say it is Cole, Carton, Palmer, Edwards, Okujeto Blackwa will not say anything. Nobody will say anything. We have to stop that in Ghana. We have to treat this matter like a revolution. We have to treat it like the 1981 revolution that Rawlings wrought, together with Akatapori, Zarebo, and Yen Yen, who took us nowhere. That 1981 revolution took us nowhere. We have to have another revolution that is taking us somewhere. It's a revolution of the mind. It's a revolution that changes the mindset of our people and brings us progressive mindset, not negative energy. Everything for Ghanaian must be pulled down. Everything going to a Ghanaian must be pulled down. Whether it is NDC or MPP, let them rise up. Don't eat your golden eggs. Please, have they found the Buzia thing? Yes. Let me listen to Professor Buzia now before I come to Brian. Play Professor Buzia, 1969. I wasn't born. I'm sure you were not born. Maybe she was born. 1969 is when Buzia said this. Have a listen.
We cannot be economically independent unless the economy of Ghana and the whole financial network is to a large extent in the hands of Ghanaians themselves. Therefore, the Progress Party supports wholeheartedly a policy for the Ghananization of the economy of Ghana. We cannot be economically independent unless the economy of Ghana and the whole financial network is to a large extent in the hands of Ghanaians themselves. Therefore, the Progress Party supports wholeheartedly a policy for the Ghananization of the economy of Ghana.
You heard Prime Minister Buzia speaking in 1969 that we cannot do this unless the whole economy is in the hands of Ghanaians themselves. and we say that we are divesting ourselves of Ghanaian hotels. Please get the Imani document and I'll read it very soon. We are divesting Ghanaians we are divesting SSNIT of these hotels that are run down. The pension doesn't make any money from it. All the pensioners who are complaining, you are not making any money from your pension. If this is going to be applied and the guy is going to give SSNIT money for 60% of the stake, SSNIT is not losing all of it. It's going to get 40%. What do you get with 100% of zero? La Palm Royal Beach lying down there. When Jose Mourinho came to Ghana, I believe it was in 2008. Kofi Annan was running African Cup of Nations, and you know my relationship with Kofi Annan. So I was in Mourinho's company. We took him all around. That's where Jose Mourinho stayed. That is where he stayed. The ball on which he wrote my name on it, I still have it. Jose Mourinho stayed in La Palm. It was in his dying embers. The 2008 committee, go and ask Rex Brobe. They had to quickly go to La Palm and put something there together and hurry up and do something. Now, Jose Mourinho cannot stay at La Palm if he comes to Ghana. So you have 100% of zero. If you are going to get 40% of $1 million, is it not better than 100% of zero? Why are we like this? Why? And it's an election year. So Kudeta Blakwa is trying to make MPP and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia look bad. Please get me the Bawumia Kaya pictures and I'll deal with it. And I'll come to Samiji Mfi a bit later. Kudeta Blakwa. He wants Ghanaians to feel that MPP is doing something wrong, just so that NDC can catapult them their way to power. Not so much because NDC have done anything or have a policy or are articulating any policy, but that they are selling hotels to themselves. This kind of rhetoric that was used in 1981 by Akatapori, Yen Yen, Zayebo. Where are they today? Where did they take this country? JJ Rawlings. What happened to the country? Zero. We went nowhere. All the youth are backward. We were watching black and white television when Nigeria was watching color television because of the excesses of that horrendous revolution, which was unwarranted. And Kudeta Blakwa wants to take us back to that revolution. The revolution that is looking for Apente Mensah to kill him because he's a businessman. The revolution that is looking for Boachi Matres to kill him because he's a businessman. That wanton abuse of rights, which occurred in Ghana in 1981, is where they are taking us to. Anything Ghanaian is wrong. Any Ghanaian cannot own anything. Everything must go to Cole, Carlton, Palmer, Edwards. What kind of thing is that? And Mr. Speaker must call Ablakwa to order that we cannot do that in this house. If there's a problem with this, you can deal with it. And I'm going to show you that on radio this morning, Brian Achampong was able to explain to the viewer, the listeners of Joy FM, that there's absolutely no problem with it. This is Franklin Kujo. He starts. He says, I think it is sensible for a state behemoth such as SSNIT, eternally abused by past and present politicians, to scale down on its real estate business, which has never been profitable. Did you hear Franklin Kujo? He says it has never been profitable. TUC unions and all those that Ablakwa may have infested. This is Franklin Kujo speaking as a civil society person. He's not a member of the MPP. He's been critical of the MPP. He's not a friend of Akufo-Addo. He's been critical of Akufo-Addo. That's not the point. The point is nation building. People are allowed to be critical of Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo is not going to be an angel. I am not an angel. You are not an angel. So if you take a position, the positions that you hold, the position that Ablakwa holds, is he an angel? Didn't Martin Amidu go to Supreme Court that Ablakwa has chopped $1.9 million of isophoto money? Didn't Martin Amidu sue him? But that is okay. He's doing his work as an MP. We support the work that he's doing. Look at the work he did when the Mepe thing happened. Everybody supports that. City FM supported his work. No problem about that. But we have to build our country, not based on this political infestation that there's an election. So we have to make sure that the opponent looks bad and you grab anything and you come and say that Brian Achampong shouldn't have it because he's a black-skinned man. What are you talking about? Wait, what is this? He says that the politicians should scale down their business, which has never been profitable. Similarly, he goes on. SSNIT should seek private sector participation, co-investment in wholly owned hotels, which are all not running efficiently. Not only will that free up some liquidity, but it will also amputate the long arm of the politicians, which tend to reach into the brick and mortar business over which SSNIT has control. I hope the TUC people are listening. Those that say that the investment for SSNIT is for all of us, I hope they are all listening. That said, he says, I will support any competitive divestiture that brings on board more money, technology, skill, preserves Ghanaian management. I think the investment plan proposed and the price agreed for the 4 hotels is fair. Ablakwa, are you listening? Honorable Ablakwa, are you listening to Franklin Cudjoe? Are you listening? He says that, and Franklin Cudjoe is going to justify why he said, I've read it already, so I'm just sharing with you. He's going to justify why he thinks it's fair. He says, I think the investment plan proposed and the price agreed for the 4 hotels is fair. He justifies it. Listen, as you all know, I studied land economy and valuation of assets is at the core of the program. He studied land economy, and the valuation of assets is at the core of the land economy program. That's why I like the intellectualism. Franklin Cudjoe is a young man, he's in his 40s. Fantastic. When you have people like this who are participating in the development of Ghana, then we are going to get somewhere. People who are not emotional about it. People who are not thinking about ballot box. But they are thinking about the society, about the nation, how it moves forward. This is not about ballot box. As for Cudjoe, Ablakwa and his friends, everything is about ballot box. That's where they live and breathe. Why? Because from school, they came to ballot box. You can't blame them for that. The other people come from school from ballot box who do something. No problem. That's you come from school and go to politics. It's not a crime. It is fine. But don't let that confuse you that everything is about ballot box. Because life and everything is not about ballot box. The fact that you just came from school to politics, you haven't worked before, and so you think everything is ballot box. Who told you that? Who told you everything is ballot box? If you had the opportunity to do something before you came to politics, you would have understood that everything about life is not ballot box. You walk from university and come straight to politics, so you think everything is ballot box. Who told you everything is ballot box? Yes, Franklin Cudjoe, who is not a necessarily supporter of any political party. But he is saying that it is important that Senate takes the decisions that they are taking. The decisions that Senate are taking today, Cudjoe is hoping that such decisions would have been taken earlier. And he's saying that he has looked at the valuation based on his own expertise as a land economist, and the pricing is fair. Let me go on. In a discussion with a course mate of mine on our platform, he shares the insights below. I have his permission to share it with you. Okay, another land economist talking. Many have questioned lots of the investments of SSNIT and wondered if they were worth it. In fact, but for the fact that SSNIT receives regular inflows by way of monthly contributions 12 months a year, that organization would have been in comatose by now. I strongly believe that one of the wasted investments of SSNIT was the hotel business. Now, I don't even want to get political. Go and look at the record of SSNIT. Who and whom created the hotel business? Go and check. Ablakwa, go and check. Who and whom created the hotel business that they say it has become wasteful? Who created it? We don't want to be political. Who created the SSNIT Hotel, La Palm and Co? Who created it? In the valuation we did for those hotels, accounts running for 5 consecutive years were all losses. Hence, we had to rely on the depreciated replacement cost approach instead of preferred profits method for the valuation. Which rational investor will keep to this investment given the high capital outlay and the maintenance cost? Speaking now as a valuer and a rational investor, I would never have put my money in those SSNIT hotels. But some investors are daring. They see what others can't. Perhaps power. Okay, let me go on. Perhaps power. Reminds me of the last conversation in the movie The Kingdom of Heaven between Balian and Christian and Saladin, the Muslim who had just taken Jerusalem from the Christians. I've not watched that movie, but it sounds like a very interesting movie. Balian, played out by Orlando Bloom, asked what is the city of Jerusalem worth? Saladin's response initially is nothing. Turns around and walks towards his camp. Then turns back towards Balian and says, everything, with a smile on his face, and then returns to his camp. What did Saladin mean by saying nothing and then later everything? The answer, everything, symbolizes the power whoever controlled Jerusalem would wield. Even ever wonder why Jerusalem is what it is today to Arabs and to Jews? Go figure out. Okay, so there you are. Will you be an able risk-taking entrepreneur and buy these hotels? Oh, is that all? All right, okay, so that's about it. So forget about the quotation. Franklin Cudjoe's expert opinion is that this is something that should be done. Okay, let's go and listen to the Joy FM story. I've been told that we are going off Metro TV, so viewers who want to continue watching us, and I hope all of you want to continue watching us, please take your phone, take your laptop, take your iPad and go to Good Evening Ghana Official. Those already watching us on Good Evening Ghana Official, stay with us. We are working so that the DSTV viewers can continue watching us when we get off and our pastor friend is coming. But we are not there yet. Maybe next week we'll do that. But for now, we are going off Metro TV, end of DSTV. And so you can watch us on social media. Okay, let's go and get the tape from Joy FM. The first one about Brian Achampong explaining to Ablakwa that there's a distinction between the individual Brian Achampong and the company Rock City Hotels. Have a listen.
You could have reached out to me for clarification. If you had done so, I don't think that you'd be here, because a lot of the things that you are putting out are factually inaccurate. But I'm pleading with Joy FM to give us all the time, even if I have to pay for it, so that Sami will ask me all the questions that he has, so that I deal with it. First of all, I want to deal with the matters as Brian Achampong, the politician, and then the company that I also own shares in. They are two different entities. Brian Achampong is completely different from Rock City. If I die today, Rock City will go on. The Rock City and its branches across the country in Kumasi, Takoradi, Cape Coast, Ada, Akosombo. There are almost 1,000 workers, and we support the communities that we are in, directly or indirectly. So at least if you are probed on this transaction, you will be putting all these things out there, denting my image and hard-won credibility. But I put it to you, please ask me any questions that you have so that I can help you.
Mr. Ablakwa.
Yes, so let me, first of all, assure the Honorable Brian Achampong that this is not personal, as I've always maintained. Yes, we serve on the same committee, we serve in Parliament together. I have always taken this position, and the Honorable Brian Achampong, that even in the House, we're very consistent on these matters. And 16 years ago, when I took the Honorable Jacob Echebi-Lamte to court, he traveled all the way to the Supreme Court. Indeed, the Supreme Court commended our effort for seeking to preserve that state asset he was trying to purchase. So, saying that I should have spoken to you directly and all of that, these are matters that are in the public interest, and matters that should not be handled at a personal level, and that's why I didn't think that these are matters that should be handled as friends.
I agree with you, except to say that even though the Supreme Court commended the action that you are taking, you lost the case at the Supreme Court. You always leave that one out in your conclusion. But what you have done, what you have succeeded in doing, is that you have tarnished Jacob Lamte's image throughout the process. You spoke on the matter, tarnished his image, and even now you are speaking about it, saying that the Supreme Court commended you. But you always fail to add that you lost the case in the Supreme Court, and you tarnished the man's image. You went on and on and on and destroyed a man, and in the end the law backed him. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes if you consult, you will get the fact, and you will not destroy people. It's not easy trying to repair an image that you have destroyed with facts that are not true, with information that are not true. That is why I asked you that if you had spoken with me, you wouldn't have even gone this far. To the extent to which you want to damage my reputation and the brand of Rock City.
Viewers, did you hear that? Did you hear that on Joy FM this morning? Look at Ablakwa. You went to Supreme Court, you tarnished Obed Echebi-Lamte's image. Eventually, Obed Echebi-Lamte won the case. And he's referring to the case. Doesn't he understand that the ruling of the court is the winning verdict, it's not the losing one? That you went to court. Yes, the Supreme Court said, yeah, it's good to come to court, but you are wrong. Because you're a young man, they don't want to discourage you. And that's great. That's great. The Supreme Court did great. Encourage the young people to bring matters to court. So they said, oh, you've done well by bringing it to court. But you are wrong. Obed Echebi-Lamte is right. Now he's repeating it 16 years later. He's living out the critical. You see their propaganda mind. Propaganda. A party that has propaganda secretary. After Damboche mounted pressure on them, they went back to their constitution to change. I have interviewed NDC and people on Joy FM in 1999 when Damboche consistently, whether it's at Joy FM, Radio Gold, Vive FM, Damboche always remind them that how can a political party have a propaganda secretary? What mind do you have for the people of Ghana? You have something called propaganda. That's what Fifi Kwete was. That's what Sami Jemfi has become. Now they call it Director of Communication. But in the original Constitution 1992, they had a role at the National Executive for somebody called Propaganda Secretary. And those days, Damboche will challenge you, the host. I was there. He said, Paul, take your dictionary and check propaganda. You look at propaganda, the first thing you see is lies. Those days, you open a dictionary. Propaganda means what? Lies. And NDC had propaganda secretary. And Damboche is the single person who mounted such pressure on them that they went to change their constitution. They call it Director of Communication. But it's good. It means we are moving forward. It means we are moving forward. Look at my friend Sami Okujeto. You go and denigrate Jacob Belam to disgrace him. Look at the work Obeche Bilamte has done in this country compared to my work, which is zero to what Obeche Bilamte did. Then as for you, is below zero, is negative. And then you go and denigrate him. The man is dead. 16 years later, you sit on radio. If Brian Achampong doesn't have the information, and this is why I am angry with the media. You can't come on Good Evening Ghana and say these things. That's why they don't come. When you hear people say, we don't come to Good Evening Ghana, it's not that they don't want to come. Oh, they are afraid of the information available here. Because if a black one dares sit on this program, and I will quickly bring the law reports. I will quickly, and they know, so they hide. And then they hide behind, oh, Good Evening Ghana is MPP, so I don't want to come. They are afraid because the kind of information we have here on Ghana, a black guy, I can teach him Ghanaian politics. The kind of information we have here on Ghanaian politics, you can't come and tell us something. And I am happy that Brian Achampong was there. If Brian Achampong was not there this morning, a black guy would have swept it away, and the journalists wouldn't know that the Supreme Court's rule for Obeche Bilamte. They wouldn't know. How sad. The fourth estate of the realm. How sad that it took Brian Achampong to correct a black one that, look, you are telling lies. You went to the Supreme Court and you lost. You lost the case. The case that here Nomani Boama, it wasn't just him. It was here Nomani Boama. The Supreme Court held the view that Obechebi was right and that his purported attempted purchase of the bungalow was under law. It was correct by law. There was nothing wrong with it. And there they were propagating propaganda. Hey, Obeche Bilamte is going to buy. Why were they doing that ballot box of 2008? Why were they doing that? The ballot box of 2008. Why are they doing that today? The ballot box of 2024. They don't have policy. They just want to tell lies and make people look like they are thieves. And then the Ghanaian people will be worried. Oh, they are thieves. They are thieves. So let's vote against them. That is who they are. That is who they are. Nothing more, nothing less. And we don't want that kind of politics. This is not the NDC. This is not the NDC that I grew up reporting. This is not Spiogabra. No. Intelligent people. Dr. Kwabena J.H. Osua Champong. I was in Parliament and I will go to J.H. Osua Champong's office. And I'll go to J.H. Mensah's office. And I saw the NDC caucus, Doa Jao, Majority Chief Whip. Fantastic guys. This is not the NDC. And that's why J.J. Rawlings was complaining. Because this is not his NDC. This one is not J.J. Rawlings' NDC. It's not Emma Mitchell's NDC. This is not it. This is not it. And we don't want any political party to be like that. Whether it's NDC or MPP, politicians should have a heart for the nation and speak the truth and speak policy. And don't take advantage of deficient media and just tell lies to the people. If Brian was not on the radio this morning, a black one would have spoken, 16 years ago, I took Obeche Bilamte. He doesn't add that he lost the case. You can't do that on Good Evening Ghana. You can't. You cannot do that here. That's why they don't come. Okay, I'm being urged to move to the next story. Do we have time for it's past 11. Sami Jemfi is lucky. Thursday, Sunyani Airport. It is coming. Thursday. Tell him that I'm going to lay him here. Sunyani Airport. Tell Sami Jemfi it is coming. I will show him that we've been doing it for 23 years. He just came. I will lay him here. I'll show him. Thursday is coming. Good evening, Sami. Please stop this behavior. Stop. Do your work. You are a nice guy. You are a great MP. Do your work. Stop this behavior. Brian, please proceed with SNIT. If everything is okay, when you take the hotels, please make it happen. Make Ghana proud. Fly the flag of Ghana at La Palm. Let us see in 2 years' time that when Brian Achampong took La Palm Hotel, it has happened. So we can go back to the Polo Ground where Kwame Nkrumah said we will show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Brian Achampong will be able to do that by the grace of God. And everybody will be embarrassed. And Ghana will be better for it. I rest my case. What are people saying on the text message? Yeah, who first? Antoinette, you first.
Okay. Douglas Mensah says, I think the decision taken by the SNIT is the best decision a corporate body can ever take to make the hotels profitable. Ablakwa is treacherous and disingenuous. Secondly, TUC's stand is bogus. SNIT does not need to take permission from them before they take any corporate decision. Odadia Chris Fifi Johnson says, Paul, why are you not speaking to the issue on its own? I think Ablakwa raised about conflicts of interest. I am not so sure Ablakwa has an issue with Ghanaians owning business at all, but a politician and a minister in that matter. Now, Samuel Kelly says State Hotels Corporation included Ambassador Hotel, Star Hotel, and another popular one near the 37. I think it was named after Emirates Hotel. I don't know if another company has taken over though, and there were these state hotels in all the 9 regional capitals. Okay, thank you, Paul. Lastly, Bernard Ababio says, Paul, no one is actually speaking against Ghanaians taking up ownership of state properties. In this situation, there is a clear conflict of interest between Brian as a Minister of State and he can actually have influence. If you want to be a businessman, I just advise you stay as such. And if you want to come and serve the nation, you do that without any thought of amassing wealth. Sarah.
A long essay from Benjamin Japan. He says, those who resign from office in name of I am protecting my integrity should give us a break. If you know you have strong integrity, stay there and make sure the right things are done. Why Amidu is seeking the removal of Kisi, provided whatever he has in that petition is true. If he had stayed, nothing of that would have happened. Sometimes, leaving office due to protecting my integrity doesn't help the institution, but the individual. If we want to have powerful institution, we shouldn't leave it to dirty hands. Those with the clean hands must get involved. Also coming from Yakubu, he says, but Buzia didn't say we should sell government properties to government officials. And also coming from Peter Frimpong, he says, I think Ablakwa lacks basic understanding of negotiation as key tenets of procurement principles. There is something called best and final offer that a buyer offers to the seller. The BAFO does not necessarily meet the original value of the product. Brian Champon offers simple explanation of using the value of 75% to calculate the amount required for the rest of the 25%. So it really baffles me when the MP says the fact that the estimated value of an asset is not what is finally paid. Somehow, there is a shady deal here. This is indeed shocking for an MP to draw this laughable conclusion. As a procurement professional, I'm indeed disgusted. And lastly, from Master Planner on Sports, he says we have only 2 teams in the English Premier League. That is Manchester United and the rest. Congratulations to Manchester City because Manchester is united. Whether Eric Ten Hag wins or not, he must go. United forever. What do you have for us, Fati?
All right, so this is coming from Fred Mensah, and he says, if Brian Achampong can build the biggest hotel in Africa, then I think he can turn these hotels around. That says Brian will do a good job and let's support him. Abdul Latif says, Paul, it's obviously clear that Ablakwa and the NDC have no vision for the progress of this country and have a pure hatred for great businessmen like Honorable Brian Achampong, who are willing to invest in Ghana and making it a great nation. The NDC and President Gigi Rawlings brought in Lebanese to take over all top businesses in Ghana from 1993 to 2001. And most of these men never paid taxes. Additionally, the NDC or PNDC and President Rawlings drove out and undermined Ghanaian businessmen, leading to the collapse of the economy, a collapse that affects us to this day. Coming from Alhaji Bob Sidi says, Okudzeto was the contractor for many foreign companies who had judgment debts against our nation. He became very rich in this business as the Deputy Education Minister to the grandma who was the minister then. I'm always flabbergasted anytime I hear Okudzeto pretending to love this nation. Pretending more pro max. And lastly, coming from Honorable Divine, he says, as for Okudzeto Ablakwa, the least said about him, the better. What do you have for us, Angela?
Iliwala from Tamale says, I'm one person who will in any day support the call for us to stand against those who fight our own Ghanaians who have the opportunity to own government entities. He continues, the same canker has been going around in Tamale, and I find it irresponsible to support foreigners who seek to acquire government properties but turn around to sabotage our own brothers and sisters who have the same interest in owning government properties. It's very bad of us, and we must stand against it. Nana Kofi says, please, Paul, there has never been a revolution in Ghana. Never refer to Rawlings's vindictive uprising as a revolution. Okay, perhaps he has a different definition for it. Now, Kwao says, Paul, this story makes me miss my grandfather and the great story of UAC. But the truth is that the revolution of the late President Rawlings and PNDC did us more harm than good, and this is the end result, making us believe we can't manage our own resources. Now, okay, there's no name to this. The message says, in fact, the hotel business is not the only bad investment SSNIT have done with contributors' money. Come to Eden's Gardens and see the luxurious buildings they have put up that are lying there unoccupied because people are not buying. They will deteriorate, and more money will have to be invested for maintenance. Now, somebody sends in a definition for the word propaganda. It says, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote a political cause or point of view. Now, okay, so Ishmael Parangante, again, the person who was wishing his person a happy birthday, he comes again saying, yes, they are preparing to get married, and he sends in a picture of her. So happy birthday to you. Paul, back to you.
Oh, great. They're preparing to get married. You should invite us to the wedding ceremony. Which pastor is going to do it? Is it the same pastor of Kisia Jabi or another pastor? Okay. All right. I'll be asked to look at this camera moment, so don't worry. Okay, viewers, I think that we've done enough for tonight. It's past 11. The clock behind me is showing 11:17, is it? Yeah, something like that. Okay. Thursday is another occasion. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Where will I be? Yes. Tomorrow afternoon I'll be there. Those of you who know where it is, yes. Tomorrow after every Wednesday afternoon I'm there. Thanks for watching and good night.